sure is busy during the day. But where should we go looking for people that we know?
Traveler, Paimon.
Sino! It's been so long since we last saw you!
As do you. You don't seem weary at all from your travels. If anything, you seem stronger. So, what brings you back here?
Oh, nothing in particular. Paimon just saw a really big mushroom out on the road the other day and suddenly missed all our friends in Sumeru.
Funnily enough, we were reminiscing about you recently too. It was at a group dinner. I look forward to hearing about your travels. Something tells me we must have a lot to...
Really? You were thinking of us too? What a
Indeed. Or as I call it, the... You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always rice to meet stew again.
Oh, darn, he said it.
You like that one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe of my razor-sharp wit.
All right. Here's your 500 Mora.
You're exaggerating. It's only 500 more.
Hey, 500 Mora is still a lot of snacks to Paimon.
All right. I'll treat you to some desserts later. Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now. My mind is focused on work, which is why I did...
A case? What happened?
Nothing major. But after finding out who was involved, I decided on reflect...
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with you, and then when you're done, we can, you know...
Such enthusiasm. Are you worried I'll forget about treating you to some sweets if you're not around?
What? No! Alright, was it really that obvious?
Obvious enough. Still, it's a fine idea. You are the heroes of Sumeru. All right, follow me.
Mind the side effects.
Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to talk to about the case?
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamot sage. He taught both me and Lee.
Huh? Sino's teacher is in trouble?
It's ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine. What sort of person targets an old retiree?
Professor, I've brought some friends.
Ah, Sino. Now who do we have here? Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in white? A youth who does not seem to hail... My goodness. You must be the legendary traveler in Paimon. I've heard all about what you've done for Sumeru.
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
I've told him about you before. You are my friends, after all. That's right. Let me summarize the situation. A couple of days ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received...
A threat letter?
Exactly. Who sends a threat letter to an...
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million Mora. Secondly, don't come looking for me. You'll never find me. But I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. Finally, if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be Wow, they sure didn't mince their words.
Clearly, This person must be desperate for Mora.
10 million more. What a joke. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name beyond the tomatoes in my garden. Where do people think I'm hiding 10 million more, huh? In my tomatoes?
There were no witnesses, so currently the letter is all we've got. So, Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Paimon's ready too!
All right, take a look. Do you see anything suspicious? Very good. The paper has a rather rough texture.
Another thing is, some of these strokes look kind of blurry. Could there be an issue with the ink?
Possibly. And I bet the paper has something to do with it.
Most of the paper around here is much smoother than this, and the ink is absorbed quickly so it doesn't run. This paper, meanwhile, it's very coarse-grained. Almost as if it's made from some sort of plant matter.
It's certainly not the same paper as we use in the academia, but the ink is nothing special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has a connection with the academia? Wait! Check this out! Looks like this part got wet at some point.
Agreed. The staining suggests it was a colored liquid.
A colored liquid. So... tea? Wine?
Looks like we're thinking along similar lines. Let's go talk to Arof. There are...
Mahamatra Sino, Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the Traveler and Paimon.
As such, I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student at the academia. Oh, one last thing. I'd start your investigation by taking a look at the cafes in the city.
Oh, of course! You think the culprit spilled their coffee on the...
They do look like coffee stains to me. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the letter is written on a type of scented paper that has aromatics added during the manufacturing process. The kind often
Of course! Yes, like they sell in the gift shops. I remember now. Zaha Hadid bought some a while back. She said she was going to use it as wrapping paper for...
Understood. I'll assemble a team to investigate the points of...
You have my gratitude.
One last thing. Send some Matra to guard the entrances and exits of Sumeru City. And change into plain clothes. Don't let them see you coming.
Will do.
Great thinking, Sino. So, where do we think the culprit's at right now? Yeah, they've probably been lying low at home waiting to see how Cyrus reacts.
You're right, Paimon.
Really? Which part?
The culprit's approach. Whatever happens, they need this Mora. But just because they warned Professor Cyrus not to go to the Matra, doesn't mean they know what he'll do next. So, and crucially, the culprit said they'd be watching the professors
Huh? Wait, are you saying...
Found you!
What are you doing?
You wrote the threat letter!
I don't know what you're talking about.
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well hidden. For someone reckless, there are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Arav. Whoever followed us the whole way was likely to be the culprit.
I was just listening in, that's all. You know something big's going.
You smiled when Arav left. I saw it as clear as day.
Is smiling a crime now?
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off with a wet cloth. All to create the impression that closing off the exits to the city doesn't affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free. The cafe was a red herring all along. You had to be somewhere where you could monitor the professor's...
You can't pin this on me! I haven't done anything!
Really? Then why are you shaking like a... The innocent have no reason to fear the Matra. Your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching.
I would never...
Don't try anything or you'll pay the price.
Well, that was over quickly.
You're telling me. One minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Sino. Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm afraid...
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was so fast.
The culprit's name is Uraka. A 16-year-old
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he looked 30-something.
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously.
Foolish child. He's too young for the criminal life. What the devil?
We questioned the culprit regarding his motives.
Oh, just spit it out.
Very well. It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes. He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink, and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his classes? That old woman is Kasharwar's very own professor,
Is this going somewhere?
Oh, right, yes. So another thing. We don't just argue about tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate by comfortable retirement?
Maybe it's more the fact that you have the time to grow vegetables in the first place.
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor, alleging that Sir Cyrus illegally obtained a large sum of money from the desert before retiring, and kept it for himself instead of reporting it. Araka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus hasn't kept up with any academic research or other projects since his retirement. And...
Oh, Araka. I'm at a loss for words. I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
People make up rumors all the time. I am quite confident that Professor
Arav, you'll have to find some excuse to interrogate Araka again later.
I completely understand how you feel, Sir Cyrus.
Professor, there's no need...
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
Okay.
The academia will determine the appropriate disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individuals spreading rumors of...
Who said I'm obsessed with some old woman on the street? You seem confused. Oh, don't you understand? Uraka is just a young boy who made a very rash and very stupid decision based on some groundless rumor he heard. All it cost me is...
Please rest assured, Professor, that the academia...
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But as a former educator, I'd still like to have a serious conversation with the boy's parents.
Correct.
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants, and they're often away on business.
Oh, what a... You don't have to seal the evidence away yet, do you? I'd like to have that letter back for the... We have to show them how serious this is.
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the evidence and are now discussing Araka's punishment.
Oh, so you'll be able to close the case.
Give or take. Cases like this...
Very good. Well, thank you for all your...
My apologies, Sir Cyrus, but I have a prior commitment.
Ah, I see. Well, that's a pity. But and isn't Tainari in town at the moment? Bring him along, too.
Wait, you mean Tainari's in the city?
He is. Tainari's master, Sir Nephis, called him and Kale to the academia to help out on a project. Though I must say, I'm surprised you're extending an invitation to Tainari. Did you do something to offend Sir Nephis?